All right, welcome back, boys and girls. Hopefully, you had a good break and you're back here with me at the reading table. And we are going to go with our words to know. Our first word to know is have, and the sentence that goes with it: I have one baby brother. And once again, the word is have. Let's do a little chant. Give me an H, give me an A, give me a V, give me an E. What's that spell? Have. Good job. Our next word is help. And our sentence that goes with that: I help my mom draw. And once again, let's do a little chant. Give me an H. Give me an E. Give me an L. Give me a P. What's that spell? Help. Good job, boys and girls. Alrighty. And so now we're going on to our letters. And we have Larry the lion, and helps us to remember that L makes the sound. And we hear the sound in words like lip and left. Also, we have Willy Worm, or I might have said Wiggly Worm, whichever, either name has a W sound. And he helps us to remember our W makes the W sound, like in wax and in wet. So those are our letters for this week as well. O for Larry Lion, and W for Willy Worm. Alrighty, moving over to our subject verb agreement. Once again, our subjects and our verbs must agree. And it's a little bit more difficult in the present tense. Present tense meaning it's happening now, right now. Past tense means it happened already. And the future tense means it will happen. It hasn't happened yet, but it will happen. And as we see, we learned during the present tense, it's happening now. If it's a single noun, just one person or one thing or animal, the verb needs help. All right. Vic eats lunch. Vic eat lunch is not proper grammar. So Vic eats lunch is better grammar. And again, we add the S, as I say, because when you're by yourself, you need help, right? Our word for one of our words to know, you need help. So the S helps it out. But if you're with someone, like these two young ladies here eating lunch, it says the girls eat lunch. So you don't need a helping hand because you already have your friend with you, or the other thing, or the other animal. So we said the girls eats lunch, way too many S's, okay? So the girls eat lunch. Here we have a single noun, just one person. She jumps. She needs help. She jump is not the best grammar. So we say she jumps, needs that S to help her. But here are two people, they're together, so they don't need an extra hand. They're helping each other. They paint. Okay? We would not say they paints. We say they paint. So again, our subject and verb must agree. If it's a single person, single meaning one person, place, thing, or animal, in the noun, it needs an S to help it. But if it's more than one, then it doesn't need the S on the verb. Alrighty, so let's move on over to our quick erase. And we've been working with the ending sound of words, changing our words. So let's see. We're going to start off with pen, n, pen. And if I change the N to T, I now have pet. All right. My next word, if I have up, up, cup, and I change my P to a T, I now have cut, cut. If I have an fan and I change my N to a T, I now have at fat. If I have ish, ish, remember SH together makes one sound, sh, dish, and I change my SH, because they're one sound, to G, I have dig, dig. And last but not least, if I have app, map, and I change my P to N, I have man, man. And those are our quick erase for today. Again, working with the N sound on each word. All right. We're going to go back to the reading table. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start our story. All right. Because the story's not very long. And we could probably get this done in a timely fashion. Not too much time. So again, we're reading one of three. It's written by Angela Johnson. And the pictures are by David Soman. Here we go. Since I can remember, I've been one of three. Eva, Nikki, and me. And maybe when we first read that part, since I can remember, I've been one of three. You might have said to yourself, well, what does that mean? She's one of three. But if you kept reading, then you realize, oh, she means she's one of three sisters here. All right, let me move my subject verb paper. One of three sisters that walked to school together, down the street together, one of three in the sun and the rain. And there are the sisters walking. Today they're walking in the rain, but sometimes they walk in the sun as well. I am one of three that lives in apartment number 2, has long hair and brown eyes, and can sometimes play hopscotch by the trash cans if I ask for a long time. So she's begging, please let me play. And we can also look at what are some things that are the same about the sisters. She talks about that she's one of three that has long hair and brown eyes. And they can all play hopscotch. So that's what's the same about these sisters. Alrighty. On Saturdays, I'm one of three that sits outside the bakery and looks and smells and smells. And there's the baker. He's got the cookies in his hand. And there are the sisters sitting and enjoying. I'm one of three that squeezes into a taxi on snowy days with Mama, Aunt Sarah, and Grandma, and it's warm there. So they're all in there. They seem to all be having a good time, right? I'm one of three that looks just like our mama, smiles just like our daddy, and holds hands with my sisters in the store, looking like triplets. Almost. And we talked about looking like triplets, meaning they look like they are twins. Twins we know look alike. Well, triplets can look alike as well. But, so we know they all have brown skin, they all have brown eyes, they all have brown long hair, but they are a little different. Even though they have the same smiles, maybe even the same way to talk. I am one of three that likes the subway, the people on it, and the way our feet hang over the seats. And we see that their feet are not quite touching the ground. And they're on a subway, all right, which is different from a train. If we look at the windows look dark because they are underground, and that's the difference. A subway usually runs underground. A subway is usually in a city, all right, but a train, like you take a train trip, you'll see the scenery. The trains are usually on top of the tracks, and you get to see all the buildings and everything that you go by. But a subway is underground, whereby a train is on top of the ground. And subways are usually in cities. I am one of three who lives over the flower shop. Mr. Lowing still gets all of our names wrong, but he gives us each a daisy every time. So he confuses them, probably because they look so much alike, right? We walk down the street like stair steps, and I'm in front. Here's another sentence that when we read it, you might not have understood what they meant, that we look like stair steps, because they don't look like stair steps at all, do they? As they look like people. But when we monitor and clarify, we realize, oh, she's talking about the way that one is taller than the other. She's the shortest in the next step and the next step, which is how stairs are. One is taller than the next, taller than the next. And that's what she means by stair step. Sometimes Eva and Nikki say I'm not invited to go with them, not to the park, the store, or sometimes even for a walk. Oh, so sometimes she can't go with her big sisters. They're allowed to go alone by themselves. But she can't go. And how do we know that they can go by themselves? Let's find out. I'm left behind, not one of three, just one. There she is, all sad with her baby doll. Then Mama calls me sister and says I'm too little to go out there or do that, so maybe I just want to help her paint or read to her. So that's how we know the sisters are going by themselves, because the mom is still home. And the mom hugs her. Why do you think the mom gives her a hug? Yeah, because she wants her to feel better. She doesn't want her to be sad. Of course, I would be sad too if I couldn't go with my sisters. I do everything with them. Why not? Daddy says that I have to be the baby sometimes and keep Mama and him company, just sometimes. So again, the sisters can go off by themselves because Dad is home as well. She doesn't seem that sad about being the baby for just a little bit. I miss Eva and Nikki and me, but when it's just Mama, Daddy, and me, it's a different kind of three, and that's fine too. So here again, this is still she's still one of three, but it's a different three, and she probably does different things. See her, she looks like maybe she helps her mom, or she reads to her mom and dad. I don't think she does those kind of things when her sisters are around. They look like they play dress up, right? Go to the bakery. And now here her sisters, they're back looking at her sleep. Alrighty, so that's the end of one of three. And we found out that there are three sisters that look an awful lot alike, but there are some differences. They have different ages, right? Because she's the baby and they're grown. They're bigger, older sisters. And also we found out that they are different heights, how tall they are. So that's another difference in them. But they definitely do look alike. They have the same parents. They have the same mom and dad. What other things? All of them like to smell the baking goods at the bakery. They all like to receive a flower. They all like to play hopscotch. But sometimes the sisters want to go out on their own and they don't want her to go. And there's another difference. Alrighty, boys and girls, that's the end of our story. You should go on over and take a break. And again, you probably are not taking a break with Miss LaBerth, unfortunately, but take your own little break and then answer your Google questions. And then it will be probably time for math next. All right, boys and girls, talk to you soon.